I've got something special for y'all today. If you watch my shorts, you may be aware of Endless Fantasia, an upcoming comic series from Daniel Barnes, who you will probably know from writing Scrapneck Island. This project is currently on Kickstarter, and there is a link in the description if you wish to support it. Daniel was kind enough to sit down with me to talk about this project, as well as a few other things he's been working on. Hope you enjoy. My audience probably knows you by now, but would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Oh yeah, hey. So I'm Danny Barnes. Most of you probably know me as the guy who writes on the IDW Sonic comic sometimes, most popularly Scrapneck Island. But I've also written a few other Sonic things. My most recent thing is the Chaotix 30th anniversary special, which, as we record this, will be out next month in October. So that's really exciting. But also, I've written a graphic novel called The Black Mage. I've written some issues of Agretzico, and I write for Guild Wars 2. So I get around. I just write a whole bunch of stuff, basically.
So we are going to be discussing a few things today, but the main thing I want to be talking about is Endless Fantasia, which, to everyone watching, is currently live on Kickstarter. A link in the description to the campaign. Obviously, everyone can read more about it there, but do you want to give a quick log line for the series?
Sure. So how I'm kind of elevator pitching it is, think of like a comic, and it's Sonic meets Kingdom Hearts. Essentially, it's also some tokusatsu influence. But essentially, it takes place in the city of Ever After, which is a metropolis in the sky where all of the different storybook and nursery rhyme and fairy tale characters coexist. And we follow Jack and Jill. Jack is his full name is Jack Flash. He's a white rabbit. He's based on the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And then there's Jill. And they hunt down shadow demons called wolves, who are spawns of the big bad wolf, who in this story is an ancient archdemon. And that's the overall idea. I'm collaborating with Storyleaf, who is a nonprofit organization based out of the Bay Area in California. And the idea is to essentially think of like a high quality, like we're making a kind of a Sonic the Hedgehog comic, like a legit one. It's very high production value, but it's being made with the express goal of getting kids excited to read and raising funds for literacy foundations and libraries and other nonprofits. That's the idea. So there's kind of this philanthropic bent to it, but it's still high quality and it's still entertaining is the idea.
So, full transparency, you actually showed me concept art right after we talked, or like kind of 3 years ago at this point, almost exactly to this day.
Oh man,
which is crazy to me. Time is a mystery. But I was super hyped then. I'm super hyped now. The first thing that really grabbed my attention was the character designs. They're really fun and unique, and they're not overly busy. Like they're simple, but in like kind of that beautiful way, like the way Sonic is, kind of where it's like
yeah.
And since then, you've shown off a lot more characters, which are all equally amazing to me. Being that you've worked with a ton of different artists when developing this project, could you go into a little bit of the design process that went into these characters?
Yeah, so most of the characters have been me, and their name is Salwa Abdusalam. They go by Dat Tooney or Dat Old Tooney online, and they've done work for like Craig of the Creek and other stuff, and they're really cool. And a lot of the creative process has really just been me jumping in their DMs and going, okay, this is the character I want. I want a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and I have whenever I'm like writing or creating something, I have a lot of very specific references because I think that's usually pretty helpful for artists. When I'm like, I want this, and this, so I just take like 5 or 6 characters. I want a little bit of that, and Salwa just works their magic, and I'm able to then go and give feedback, and it's a very collaborative process when it comes to that. But yeah, they've been the one that have like basically sat down with me since like, oh my God, I want to say like 2020, 2021, and just been slowly, as I've been figuring the story out, just churning that out with me. And yeah, and it's been that. And then a lot of it's been as we've been breaking ground and I've been figuring the story out and we've had more assets, I've been then able to, okay, now I can do art of this, and now I can approach this artist to do this for me. So it's been slowly snowballing for like the last 5 years, I think.
And you're joined on the creative team by Mauro Fonseca, Rick Mack, and Natalie Fordrain, all of which have also worked on IDW Sonic as well as tons of other projects. Can you tell me about how you started working with them on this project?
Okay, so Basically, everyone who works on the IDW Sonic comic, we have a Discord. Like we all just hang out on there, and we like watch movies and we talk, and we also talk about Sonic, obviously, and we talk about our own projects. And so, yeah, we're just all friends and creative colleagues, and we're used to each other. We've known each other for years, and man, they've been the brunt of me just not shutting up about Endless Fantasia. I'm just always bringing it up nonstop, and so they've kind of known I've been doing it this whole time, and so it's been kind of in their ear and like, okay, like are you gonna be able to do art for this when I do it? And like, yeah, whenever it comes out. So it was just a matter of, okay, it's time. Are you available to do it? Are you available to do it? Are you available to do it? We're gonna pay you. It's gonna be great. And yeah, they're like, okay, let's do it. And it's just been pretty seamless because I've had so much like lead time over the years to kind of prepare everything and get everyone mentally ready to do it. So it's been pretty smooth so far.
Jumping back, you did mention you've partnered with Storyleaf, a nonprofit who one of their main goals is to advance literacy and education. Is that honestly very dear to me as well. I've always had the stance that a main reason that kids struggle with some subjects is an inability to link it to something they had interest in.
Yes.
I know I struggled with certain things before, like with English class. I loved like in towards the end of my schooling when I realized I could like link the things I would learn to things I liked and like help understand it better. Can you tell me how this partnership with Storyleaf happened?
Yeah, of course. So, well, it's great you bring up like having something tangible and practical linked to what you're learning because that's been kind of the basis of why we've been wanting to do this. I've been bringing up recently how a lot of when I was young, a lot of my like literacy and developing my reading skills came from reading Sonic comic books and like reading Jeff Smith's Bone and playing Final Fantasy a lot. So like JRPGs force you to read, and I like playing JRPGs. So like I'm going to become better at reading just by virtue of I want to know what the story is. I want to be able to up my level to get there. And I think a lot of people, when they think of educational entertainment, they kind of think of something that's kind of dry. I think it's kind of boring. It's kind of corny. It's just very like it's made by kind of school marms or whatever, or older people. But I think anything can be educational in the right framing. Any good piece of art has the ability to be didactic, and it can make you learn more about things just by virtue of it being earnest and it being well made. It's going to draw you in. When you're a kid, you're a sponge. You absorb everything. Same with manga. You're going to learn vocabulary. You're going to learn stuff about the world through manga. So that's kind of been the goal. And as far as my partnership with Storyleaf, one of the heads of it, Gil Banducci, has been a longtime friend and mentor of mine. When I was attending Academy of Art University in San Francisco, he was one of my former teachers, and he's just been a great booster of mine, a very good friend, and a very good supporter. And it just when he eventually came up with this nonprofit, I think he like kind of made it during the pandemic. Like that's when it kind of came about. He's always liked my creative work and was just like, hey, let's do something. And I was working on Endless Fantasia, and I'm like, well, we could do comic books and getting kids excited to read and pushing literacy. And they just loved the idea. So yeah, it was a really natural fit.
I know you did mention that JRPGs help you learn how to read. I might as well out myself about really cemented one of my ability to read was the original Animal Crossing.
Yeah, absolutely. Any like video games, like I feel like it's so they're so like underrated, underappreciated when it comes to like making kids learn things. There's just it's just by virtue of it's text based and you have to read. You're gonna read, like so you're gonna get better at reading. It's natural, and people don't think about that a lot. I think.
So you've shown off some mood boards that served as like character inspiration, which you said have both been for like their aesthetics and personalities. So starting with Jack, and then we'll move to the other ones. Could you take me through some of them and how they influenced the characters and how they and what these franchises had an impact on you and like your creative process and like your taste in media and how you write and stuff?
Sure. Let me bring the mood boards up so I can see what I put on them. 1 second. So, okay, we have Jack here. Some of it's like it's very vibes based. Some of it's very obvious and very direct, and some of it's very like, okay, like this is the vibe I'm taking from them. So, on this mood board for Jack, I have it's like Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Delinquent with a heart of gold, likes a good fight, is tough but a good person, and that's a lot of what I like. That kind of classic shonen energy, and Jack has a lot of that. He's a tough guy. He doesn't take any crap from anybody, but he's a really nice guy also. And he always does the right thing. He has a strong sense of justice. He's kind of like Sonic in that way, which Sonic is another character I really drew from, obviously. And King Cosmo's in the middle. King Cosmo's from Summer Wars, and I think the influence from that is pretty obvious if you're just kind of looking at the image right now. Aang with his arrow on his head is kind of obvious. I kind of pulled from that. And then Kingdom Hearts, baggy pants, big shoes. So some of it's just like aesthetic. Some of it is the character's disposition. Some of it's the themes they represent. Goku is an energetic young boy that likes to fight. Impmon is kind of look, his eyes look like Jack's, and he's kind of like a gremlin, you know. So there's different levels of what I'm pulling from for each one. What do we see? What do we have here? We have Jill. Yeah, you know, like Nico Robin. I feel like if you look at Nico Robin, it's kind of obvious. It's the hair, and it's just kind of this kind of mysterious woman of darkness who kind of exudes more of a threatening energy than she's actually a pretty good person when you get to know her, but people kind of on the outside kind of judge the book by the cover a bit. And then you have Hiei and Shadow the Hedgehog, and who are like dark rivals who kind of have a bit of an attitude. She has a bit of that. She's very much kind of like what's a good example? She's kind of like the Yang to Jack's Yin. Like she's kind of dark. She's a bit colder. She's a bit more grave and serious. Jack is energetic. He's upbeat. He's very boisterous. So they're a really good pair in that way because they can balance each other out. They're really good friends though. They don't hate each other or anything. They get along. They're just really very much opposites. Wednesday Adam and Raven again, just kind of these dark, very dour, acerbic goth girls. A lot of that energy, and then Megan Thee Stallion cosplaying as Todoroki from My Hero Academia. The half and half hair. That is where I specifically got that idea from, was seeing that cosplay.
The on Mother Goose's mood board, there's an interesting mix of characters. This one I was very interested in, especially in one specific character choice. So if you want to go through Mother Goose's as well.
Which one specifically are you interested in?
Because I was wondering if like this could just be aesthetic, but then I was also like, well, there's one of these is a villain. Like everyone here is kind of good, and then there's like one villain, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's absolutely aesthetic. It's just Gaudius from Klonoa has that big bird helmet that I think looks cool. So I'm like, I wanted to use that. Mother Goose is a good person though. I without getting into the specifics of the story, Mother Goose is very kind. She's good. But she's very much kind of a mentor, warm, motherly character. Very much like Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Very much like Vanilla the Rabbit and Miss Clavel from Madeline. But she's also very wise and kind of a badass, like Optimus Prime and Gandalf. So you kind of get that interesting mix of different things. But yeah, Gaudius is just the bird helmet. That's the only influence I took from that character.
yeah, I was just like, I wonder if there's gonna be a twist when I saw it.
If it was a twist, I would not put it on the mood board. You would not know it's coming. Trust me.
I do want to say again for the audience, if you want to support this project, the link is in the description. It's really cool. I hope everyone goes to support it. With that, though, I do want to jump to some other projects you've worked on since we've last talked.
Of course.
You previewed Endless Fantasia in comic form for the first time in SparkFlame, which is a comic anthology Shonen Jump style. All of those who contributed to IDW Sonic were kind of on it. Can you tell me how this project came to be?
Yeah, so it was kind of the brainchild of Mauro Fonseca again, and because there was this idea because Sonic is very very intensive. It takes up a lot of our time, some more than others. It all depends from person to person, and everyone in the group had these like original ideas for things that they were like, oh man, I would love to work on it one day, but I'm just so busy with my day job and all this other stuff, and I'm working on Sonic and I'm working on this and that. And so SparkFlame was just like, okay, like Mara wanted to go, okay, we're gonna do something, and it's gonna force us to think about our original ideas. It's not gonna be Sonic-y at all, and we're gonna do this thing. And everyone really kind of rallied around that and thought it was a cool idea. And it was just really is this really cool comics jam to really force us to flex our creative muscles. And I of course used Endless Fantasia because like I already have that in my back pocket, and it was really cool to actually be able to write it in comic form and to like feel out the characters' dynamics. So everyone got something different out of it, and it was super cool, and it did really well. Like we put it on Itch, and like we kind of got jump scared with how much, because we're like, here it is, it's on Itch, it's for free, and and then a lot of people donated a lot of money to it. We were kind of like not expecting it at all, and it's been really a pleasant surprise, and it really kind of showed everyone like, yeah, like this is the right direction. We should be doing our own stuff. Like there is an audience for our material outside of Sonic, because I do think that is kind of a bit of an imposter syndrome that some people, they feel like, oh man, Sonic fans, they won't support us outside of just making Sonic stuff, which I can understand that fear, but so far it seems like that's not the case with SparkFlame, and especially with my Kickstarter. It's been like a lot of people have been like, oh, this is cool, I like their work, I'm going to show up for it, as long as you just kind of advertise it well. So SparkFlame was a big success, and I think we're slowly trying to develop a sequel. We want to kind of do these regularly. We don't want it to just be a one-time thing. But yeah, it's been really cool to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that if we were gonna be able to expect a SparkFlame #2 in the future, which that's really awesome to hear because I really loved it. I know my comments section really loved it when I covered it because I saw some people like really excited for it. Relating to that, so Endless Fantasia, I think again we said this before, knock on wood, is hopefully just going to be going to print as its own series, which it seems like it is based on how well the Kickstarter's doing. But if we do get SparkFlame #2, is it going to be still more side stories of Endless Fantasia, or you might do something different with it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. It might be a little bit of a mix of both, depending on how many we do and how long it goes. I think it'd be fun to like do a little short Endless Fantasia stories in there, but also it kind of feels like it's cheating a little bit. So it's like maybe I should use the opportunity to come up with something else this time for SparkFlame and let Endless Fantasia just be the comic that it exists as now already. I can't say for sure though. Hopefully it's a variety of things. Maybe sometimes, depending on how many volumes of SparkFlame we do, sometimes it'll be an Endless Fantasia story. Sometimes it'll be something else I've made at, because I do have other cool ideas that are in the back of my mind that I just really haven't developed a lot. So SparkFlame might be the excuse to really figure that stuff out, you know.
And then jumping to the Hedgehog, because last time we talked was in relation to Scrapnik Island, which I know I told you in private how much I liked when it came out, but I do want to reiterate I really loved it, and I know a lot of other people did too.
Thank you.
And I feel like every time I make a video that mentions Scrapnik Island, someone in the comments does mention it's their favorite Sonic story too.
Oh man.
So with people saying stuff like that, and you penning the incoming Chaotix 30th anniversary on shelves October, always be plugging. How does it feel to not only work on a franchise that you care like a whole lot about, but to also have done work that for some it's crucial to their enjoyment of that franchise?
It's kind of surreal in a lot of ways. It's just very much like, it's so weird. Like I just because I was on the Bumblecast yesterday with Ian Flynn, telling them about this, and it's so surreal to me that back in 2007, I was like in high school still, and I was reading Archie Sonic. Like I loved Archie Sonic. I read that religiously, and like I was reading Ian and Tracy Yardley just doing these really cool stories back to back to back to back, and now I'm doing this chaotic story. And Tracy Yardley's doing most of the art for it. He's doing the primary art. So it's like, this is so weird. Like dude, like almost like two decades ago, like I was like I was a kid reading your stuff, and now he's drawing what I'm writing. So it's always, it doesn't get old to me. It hasn't so far. It still feels like I'm gonna just, I'm gonna snap my fingers and wake up and none of it ever happened, kind of. But it's been really cool. And it's been really humbling seeing how much my work has been well received, and people say it really spoke to them on certain levels of stuff. But it's been cool, and it really pushes me to want to keep honing my craft and getting better and to understand Sonic even more, because that's been the crazy thing about working on this book is I thought I knew a lot about Sonic before. I thought I was pretty knowledgeable about Sonic, but as I work on this with Sega and with other colleagues who are also very knowledgeable about Sonic, I find myself learning new things like every day about Sonic and getting a better understanding of his appeal and the point to him thematically. So it's always a learning experience. I'm always growing, and it's been really cool. Hopefully I can keep doing it. I do have I feel like I have mentioned it elsewhere in passing, and I can't go into a lot of detail, but I am doing the Chaotix. I'm doing the Chaotix special, but I'm also doing a couple of other IDW Sonic stories that have not been announced yet. So they are bringing me back to do stuff more often now, which is really cool. So look forward to that.
Which I'm very excited for as well. I know you've tweeted about wanting to do stuff with Metal and Silver, and I know you can't talk about it, but I am looking forward to see if you do get to work with those characters. But I'm very excited. So relating to that, and kind of, I'm assuming it feels like kind of like an equally kind of weird feeling that that you got Patrick Spaziante, the legendary Sonic comic artist, I'd say, to do some art for Endless Fantasia.
The man of mystery. Yeah, I was able to track him down. He's not an easy man to track down, but he's super cool. It's consummate professional, very nice person, very super talented, obviously, and quick. Like the quality that he puts out at the speed he puts it out at it makes my head spin, really. But yeah, it was very cool to work with him, and that was something on the bucket list I never thought I was going to be able to check off. Is, oh yeah, Patrick Spaziante is going to draw something that I made up. Just something you never thought would happen. Like his covers specifically on Archie Sonic, life-changing. My life might not have taken the course it's taken if I hadn't encountered the Spaz covers, because they altered the brain chemistry. They evoke so much imagination when you look at them. They're truly iconic, and I'm really surprised that Sega hasn't gotten him to do more stuff, not on the comics, but on the games and other stuff they do. Because if I was Sega, that's what I would do. But yeah, that's been really cool, and it was a really awesome experience. And he told me at the end, hey, if you want me to do more art for this thing, you know where I'm at. Just have me do some more. So hopefully look forward to more Patrick Spaziante Endless Fantasia art in the future.
It feels like he is his artistic style is so good. He's able to kind of style match really well. I feel like when the era of Sonic's design was changing in Archie, some artists struggled, but I feel like Spaziante was on it. He was I understand.
Yeah, he understood the assignment. No, absolutely. And a lot of people always go whatever happened to Patrick Spaziante? Does he do work anymore? And he's been doing plenty of work the whole time in licensed products like coloring books and other things, but he's not credited, and he's able to draw stuff exactly like he's like the style. So you don't know it's him drawing, which is crazy. I've learned, I did digging and found so much stuff he's been doing over the last couple of decades that he's just not credited for because it's commercial art, or he won't put it on his resume. I found that he did some Avatar: The Last Airbender storybooks or coloring books, and it's just it looks indistinguishable from the show, so you don't know it's Spaz doing it. It's crazy, but yeah, he's an amazing guy, and he's just kind of been around the whole time. Sometimes we didn't know it.
So Jack Flash is heavily inspired by some video game characters like Sonic and Sora. How does it feel he's going to be playable in a video game soon with Star Garden?
It's another just stroke of luck. It is really, everything kind of worked out and fell into place. The folks at Game Garage, I've been mutuals with them on Twitter for a long time, and we're all connected by Sonic, and we're all becoming part of this weird class of guys in their 30s-ish who are oh, we grew up with Sonic. Let's start making our own stuff that's been influenced by Sonic heavily. And so they're doing the Star Garden, which has been wildly successful in Kickstarter, as I knew it would. Smash hit on there. And I just talked to them. They liked what I was making. I liked what they were making. Hey, two great tastes taste great together. Let's lift each other up. And it just worked out really easily. And I'm really I'm really thankful for it. I'm glad, I'm honored they're letting my character be in their game, because their game is going to take off like a rocket. It's huge. So I'm glad I kind of get to be a small part of that. It's been really cool.
And seeing who's voicing Jack too, Zeno Robinson, that I wasn't like super familiar with the name at first, and then I looked at his IMDb and I was like, oh, I've heard him constantly. And
yeah,
he's
another guy he's been everywhere the whole time, and he's super cool. And yeah, we're mutuals also, and he's just been a great booster and supporter of Endless Fantasia since I was telling him about it. And yeah, it just worked out. And I was like, hey, I would like you to be Jack Flash. I told him this. It has to have been, if not a year ago, then 2 years ago. And he's like, yeah, just let me know. Just call and I'll be there. And this opportunity arose with Star Garden, and I was like, yeah, I have someone who might be willing to do his voice, and it was Zeno, and they're like, okay, let's link up, and it just, the stars aligned. Very fortunate. A lot of my success has been people being really kind to me, and the stars aligning in my favor randomly. So I never forget that. I don't want to sell myself short. I think I do work hard. I think I do earn stuff, but a lot of success is luck and the kindness of others, and I think it's always important to remember that. Keep you humble,
Yeah, I know. When I was looking through his resume, the first thing I was like, oh, he's Gamma 2 in Dragon Ball Super, and then I'm like,
yes,
and then I'm like, he's Remy in Big City Greens. Like, that never like registered as like the same
he's
voice
Hawks in My Hero Academia.
Yeah. and then like I scroll further, I'm like, he's in Ultraman.
He's in everything. I'm so lucky. He was like, oh yeah, I'll voice Jack. I'm like, do you have time? Are you sure? You're like in everything, dude. And he's like, yeah, of course. So very cool guy, very charitable, very talented. Lucky to have him.
This next question I wrote like before something got announced, and it was like as a joke, but I guess it's not a silly joke question anymore. I was gonna ask, like, hey, if Star Garden got a comic adaptation like Sonic did, would you be willing to write a few issues? But then they announced they're doing a manga prequel.
Yeah, I've been aware of that manga. They told me about it before they announced it. I would be absolutely willing to write it if the opportunity arose. I think this first one they've announced has its staff or crew put in place on who's doing the book. But if they make more, yeah, they know where to find me. They can ask me. I'd be more than willing to do that. It's a cool little world they're making. So absolutely.
So you did kind of touch on this a moment ago, but I want to see more of your thoughts on this, because I think right now the community that's at least partially spawned from Sonic is in like a really good place creatively right now, and I would say it's not like super dissimilar to what happened in the 90s, where like McFarlane, Larson, and a bunch of other comic creators started Image with creator-owned comics. Only now I think this one has a much more positive connotation, and that Image was created in response to them being treated negatively by the industry.
Yeah.
And what's happening now is just like the love of creating and the love of what influenced like your own creative projects. And it feels like we're in this really cool space of creators supporting creators, and even beyond some of the collaborations we've directly mentioned. I've seen some other ones too, other guest characters that have been included for Star Garden. Does it feel like we're moving into like a really good period of creativity, spawning just mainly from Sonic's influence?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like, I think we are, and I think it's creators supporting creators is great. I mean, we're kind of reaching the point where creators have to support creators, because Lord knows the freaking corporations and companies aren't going to do it. So it's like, if they're not going to help us, we have to help each other, and we're stronger together. So it's been really cool to kind of, I guess, like this kind of have this kind of wave starting up, this little like rumble. And I think it is very much like, yeah, not just the 90s like Image comics, but kind of just artistically the 90s in general, like also in animation. Like, I feel like the 80s was this period where everything was, it's the Reagan era. Everything was IP driven. Like, oh, it's got to sell toys, and it can't have like mature themes in it because it's Ronald Reagan. We can't do all this, and it was very stifling. And like from that, you got like Batman the Animated Series, because everyone who worked on that like couldn't do what they wanted to on like the Super Friends, or they were watching the Super Friends and like, oh, that's kind of corny, or they were working on other 80s cartoons where they couldn't like really flex their muscles. And so you had 90s, which became like this kind of renaissance in a lot of ways for storytelling and animation in response to that. So I think maybe I like to think we're kind of on the cusp of that now. We've had our 80s for a while, this IP driven thing that's been going on, and we're slowly moving into let's make our own stuff with our own voices and our own brand, and it's free. Like you're seeing it with Glitch Productions and Amazing Digital Circus. You're seeing it with Has Been Hotel, and they're super successful, and it's just original indie stuff basically. So yeah, I think we're hopefully entering in another kind of creative renaissance like that.
And before we just kind of go into like kind of free talking about stuff and just questions I wanted to cover, I had a lighter question to like kind of end my list of questions.
Sure.
You've tweeted about wrestling a few times, and I'm a huge wrestling fan. So
yes,
I want to know who's your favorite wrestler of all time, and who's your current favorite wrestler?
Oh, geez, man, that's that's a loaded question.
I know it's hard for me too.
Who's my favorite wrestler of all time?
Would it help if I outed my own first?
Sure. You name one, so I don't say that person. I guess.
I mean, if you agree, that's fine too.
My
favorite of all time is Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, Eddie! Oh my, Eddie's a great choice. Oh my God, Viva la Raza. Let me think. I'd say just shooting from the hip without thinking about it. Maybe Booker T. I love Booker T so much. Booker T's an amazing wrestler. And, when I was younger, it was like, oh, hey, a black wrestler. And he's like a main eventer. And he's like really popular and he's funny and he has a cool move. And he does the spinneroonie. He can like break dance. I thought he was like the coolest guy ever when I was younger. My favorite wrestler now? Oh, gosh. Oh, you know what? I bought a couple of shirts because I was really liking when he was getting a push. I really like Jey Uso a lot. Jey Uso is really cool. I'll do Jey Uso as my favorite current wrestler.
That's a good one, I think. Booker T, I was definitely is one of like the iconic ones I grew up with. And now
can you dig it, sucker?
And now on commentary. He's super funny.
He's amazing. I love Booker T.
I think my current favorite, it's hard. I think that's the harder one to pick for me because I think right now in wrestling, I think we're also in a very good space where there's a lot of really.
Oh, there's so much. There's so much. I still have to watch the was it WWE Unreal on Netflix, the behind the scenes show. I really want to watch that a lot, and I haven't done it yet.
I know I've been. I think mostly right now I've been super into AEW lately, and I watch with. So I think. With the group of friends I watch with, the matches that I'm always making sure to see, it's either Mercedes Moné or Toni Storm. It's like those are probably the two.
Oh my God,
one
Tony's
of those two.
Crazy. I don't watch a lot of AEW, but I do know Tony, and that's like, wow, this is like one of the best gimmicks of all time. Whoa.
This one is just the one I'm curious about, so it might not be in there.
Okay.
So the sample comic was like a colored version of the
SparkFlame one?
Yeah, is that going to be included in there, or because I like seeing the colored version of it, or is that going to be just on here?
That's going to be the color version of that comic. I will probably just post online for people to just look at. Like it'll be free basically, since SparkFlame is free. I'll either like post. I'm probably going to post it online on Twitter and Blue Sky. And then I might just compile it and like, I'll put that on itch also. Like, here's a 5-page. You can just take the PDF of this if you want, kind of a thing. But yeah, I don't think that will be included in the actual released Endless Fantasia book.
The colors are gorgeous on this one, and I'm super looking forward to how the book looks.
Yeah, and Nat's a machine. Yeah, and it's really cool because Nat and I really gel well. We both like have a lot of the same opinions and tastes when it comes to our storytelling and media. So it's been a great collaboration. I think she is going to color my next miniseries for IDW Sonic that has not been announced yet because Nat likes to work with me and I like to work with Nat. So look forward to that.
That's an exclusive that we just have a new miniseries coming.
There's always a miniseries.
Yeah. I love the miniseries setup for it. I know we're never getting the title Sonic Universe back, but it really feels like the spiritual successor for it, where it's just like this really cool self-contained story that you can just pick up, and it's such a cool place to onboard people onto.
Well, Well, here's the thing. Like, what I think the entire comic should be like that, and I think we're gonna start slowly seeing that happening. I've been talking to Evan Stanley a lot about it. We've all been talking, and I think Sonic, at least, like I think when Archie Sonic was a thing, I think having kind of the soap opera approach, the serialized approach, worked really well for its universe and how its characters work. But in my opinion, Sonic characters work. The canon Sega Sonic stuff works better when it is just like self-contained stories where you can go, oh, here's a new location with some new characters, and then oh, Sonic and Tails show up and they go on a little adventure. They help the characters there in their location, and then they move on to the next place. Kind of like almost like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They kind of did that a lot. Kind of like Samurai Jack. Like I think we need to start doing that a lot more, where any Sonic story can be a good onboarding process. Like you could play Sonic Adventure 2 and you didn't have to play the other Sonic games to understand what was going on in that game, right? You could play Sonic, you can play Sonic Frontiers and not go, I'm confused. I haven't played any other Sonic game. Like that's how I think all Sonic stories should work. You should be able to onboard someone at any point without having a whole bunch of baggage they need to read up on first. So I'm hoping the IDW books start to go slowly in that direction. I don't know if you've have you read the Sonic and the Blade of Courage manga yet?
I've read the first chapter. I've kept meaning to go back to it, but I know
I'm
I
on
was like,
chapter 3. It's so good. I'm just like, whoa! This is like, oh, it's so good. This is what Sonic stories need to be. It's like, oh, it's about this little boy, and then Sonic just shows up in his life, and then they go on an adventure, and the boy grows and learns as he hangs out with Sonic. You know, that's what you want.
I definitely agree with that. That I like when it's easy to onboard people. That I think that's what I like, that when there's kind of a it's not, I guess it's not really super like, because the story can be self-contained, that we're not jumping back to something from 50 issues ago. It's like, hey, go pick up this collected edition, idiot.
Yeah.
But I like the obviously it's the continual growth of the characters. It's in the same way that's like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of anime is like that too, where it's like, oh, you can just start at the new arc, it's whatever. Like Yuki's characters are archetypes, so you can kind of pick
I,
it up and then like you learn about the character.
I've been trying to just impart into a lot of the other IDW creators, just like you should read One Piece, and watch One Piece. Sonic should be like One Piece. That's what we should be doing. They go to a new island. The island has a gimmick and its own problems and characters. The Straw Hats show up. The Straw Hats are just themselves, and by virtue of being themselves, they help solve the problem. And they go to another island, rinse and repeat. So I make it like One Piece is the kind of what I'm trying to drill in.
Yeah, it's like you get that continual character growth and development, but it's also like it's it's still like you can just pick up wherever, and I like that a lot. I like that. I think that's the perfect striking of a balance between those two.
Yeah, I think we stop. We don't want to make it less of a soap opera and more like the Uncle Scrooge comics. I think is what we want. Do something more like Scrooge McDuck, where it's like, oh, this week there's a giant vulture that steals gold, and it accidentally steals Scrooge's money bin, and now he has to go on an adventure and chase down the vulture and get his money bin back without losing it. Like it's just a cool little fun romp that has a nice hook and it's contained, and then you go on to the thing next week. I feel like a lot of modern media has kind of lost that. Like, I miss when shows were able to be episodic. I like when you used to be able to turn on a show and go like, I've never heard of this show, and then you just watch an episode and it just you get everything you need from it, and you go, oh, okay, I'll watch the next one. And I think kind of like between um like I think between like kind of the rise of like anime getting super popular, which does have tend to be more serialized, and the rise of streaming in general, where everything has to be bingeable and it's more kind of like a continuous 10 episode movie, and like the distribution model has changed, so we don't get to have something that's just 50 episodes and each episode is just its own wacky thing, and there's not really a lot of trying to set stuff up for later. And I think we were really missing a lot of cool opportunities and a cool method of storytelling by not having more episodic stories in general, which is like, what I'm trying to do in Endless Fantasia also is trying to be like, okay, this episode, Jack and Jill meet this character and they fight this person. This episode, I really kind of miss that stuff. So instead of complaining about it, I'm just like, I'm just going to make my own stuff. That's like
Yeah.
that. So.
And It feels like that was happening at kind of like other places in IDW too. For a while, they were doing like really episodic stuff. Like I feel like what's happening over in the Godzilla comics was very episodic. Like their Rivals series was each was like a one-shot fight story, and then they did a bunch of mini-series and stuff like that. And now they're moving into like a more serialized, like 3-book
Connected
series.
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Which looks
like.
cool.
Yeah,
Let's see what it's like. Not against it. Like I think that's a thing Godzilla can do also, because Godzilla just has so many iterations and versions. We can have a serialized version, and then we can have one that's just like it's a movie. We can have one where you just it's like a period piece emotional drama about a fighter pilot that needs to learn to not kill himself and to live his life. Or we can have him fight a giant monkey with a metal arm at the pyramids, and you can do whatever you want with Godzilla, right? Sonic is a bit more like, now they have this mantra where kind of everything is trying to be canon. Like there's supposed to be kind of a rough this could have happened at some point, and it has to be a bit more like a not tongue in cheek, but a bit more coy about it. But I think the idea is like the books can happen in the realm of the games. Like there has to be some kind of parallel. You have to thread the needle a bit, you know. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point.
no, I mean I think people like to hear that. I think, but like, yeah, it's
like
always
I was gonna say for Scrapnik Island, like that's been the kind of, because people are they're getting programmed to think there has to be a reason, there has to be everything connected. Like I remember so many people read Scrapnik Island and they liked it, but they're like, oh yeah, see, this is great because it's a payoff to Sonic's arc from the main book where like him trying to help people wasn't working, and like this is finally the payoff. And I'm like, I didn't write the story to do that. I just wrote it as its own story, and he helped someone in it. It just so happens in the main book, like it wasn't paying off for him. I don't know. Like I wrote Scrapnik literally like, whenever I go to conventions and I table and I sell the book to people, they're like, oh man, I have to catch up on the Sonic books. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm like, well, you can literally read Scrapnik Island and have read nothing else, and it'll just as long as you know who Sonic and Tails are, you'll understand what's going on in the story. And they're like, oh, and then they'll pick it up. Comics have that stigma. A lot of people like, oh, I want to read it, but there's so much to read. I don't want to catch up. And it's like, that's why we need to write stuff where people don't need to catch up. If they don't want to, they can just read whatever they want to. And I guarantee you, if they read whatever they want to, they'll read something, go, oh, this is really good. Now let me go back and read all the other stuff that exists because I liked this one. Is kind of the approach I think you need to take with it.
That's kind of, I said something like that similar in my Sonic Universe video. I was talking about how like clean and self-contained the Universe series was, but like
yes.
I said like up front, it's like my approach to comics has always been like, you want to start reading comics, go to the comic book store and find a cover you like.
That's like that's been like, just go, okay, start here and then just start reading, and then like you'll fill in the gaps or whatever. I mean, I think it's a certain mentality you have to have. Like you and me both like wrestling. It's the same way with wrestling. You don't go back and watch every wrestling episode to understand. Just, oh, wrestling's on this week, let me watch it. Let me just hop on board, and then I'll just hang on and I'll eventually pick it up. Like I think people don't realize that people kind of have an innate ability to kind of hop in onto stuff and glean what's important and what's happening, and they'll catch on. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think I say in the video, it's like, it doesn't matter, it's issue 126, you'll be fine.
Yeah, like Superman is from Krypton and he punches people and he's allergic to kryptonite. Like that's all you have to really know. You'll figure everything else out as you go. Just come on, go ahead and read it.
Because I feel like the difficulty to onboard people to comics is so much like an optics thing about it, that comics love the big number on the cover, and that intimidates people, and it's like, no, you'll be fine, I promise.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, that's why like graphic novels and manga have gotten so huge, because people are just like, oh, okay, I'll just get this collected big version of it, and it'll be a lot easier to keep up with.
Like I think like reading lists are important, but only like if people want to learn about a specific character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I made a reading list for a friend this friend is a huge Booster Gold fan. So I was like, you'll probably like Booster Gold and Rip Hunter. So I'm like, you'll probably like Silver. And I made a silver reading list, going from Archie all the way through IDW, and I made sure being like, it's not the same continuity, it changes. But it was like, and now he's their funky little guy.
Yeah, Doctor Who is the same way. It's like you don't have to go back and watch every episode of Doctor Who. Just find a doctor that you think looks cool, and then just start watching those episodes of Doctor Who. Like more people need to just vibe. Just take the plunge. It's fine. You'll be okay.
Like I feel like most people are gonna like be like, oh, I want to jump back and see the other stuff because I liked this newer thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my friends first, like you did mention Godzilla -1 specifically. I think Godzilla -1 altered my brain chemistry and fixed me.
It's great. I saw that one twice in theaters. I love that movie.
It was really good, and I like that. Like you can get the sillier stuff with what's happening in the MonsterVerse right now at the same time.
Yeah, and I loved Godzilla X Kong also. Like I loved both of those movies, and they got to be completely different from each other. And it's like, man, I wish all franchises could do this. Like just you can have the variety and grace to do whatever you want, and people are just going to dig it either way. I feel like the only other franchise I can think of off the top of my head that has that kind of pull is like Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles can just be kind of completely different each time, and it's like, oh yeah, that's recognizably Ninja Turtles, though I love it. Like you can have the very serious, gritty comic, but then you can have like the really silly cartoon, and they just kind of coexist, and it's really fun. So that's kind of the virtue of having a kind of a meta series type of thing.
Yeah, I know they keep talking about, I don't know, like I haven't heard news on it, both like talking about a Last Ronin animated movie and like a Last Ronin video game, and I'm like, I wonder how like the regular audience is going to react to this.
Oh, is it supposed to be an animated movie? I thought because
I don't.
They're saying it's
maybe
they're saying it's R-rated. So I was like, oh, I was almost thinking they might try to do a live action version because it's R-rated.
It doesn't actually say what it is.
Yeah, because I think that would make sense for me. Is you have like the Mutant Mayhem animated kids movie, and then you can have the darker, serious Batman live action. Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Like
it makes sense to me.
Like I think I was assuming it was animated because there's this news going around about Seth Rogen producing an R-rated animated Venom movie.
Oh Lord! All right.
So I was like, oh, maybe that's just we're gonna get into that for a little bit. Just.
Hey, I mean, I would welcome R-rated theatrical animated movies. Please, like, do that.
It's been a long time since we've gotten one that wasn't titled Sausage Party, I think.
Oh God, I am really hoping like K-pop Demon Hunters kind of just like reinvigorates just a lot of animated movies in general.
I've been putting it off, but I hear so many good things about it.
Oh, have you not seen it? You have to watch K-pop Demon. It's so good.
Like everyone is saying how good it is. Even like my fiance's mom told me how good it is. I'm like,
it's so good. It's just great music, great animation, great story. It's the real deal. Like don't let Twitter or other people go, it's overrated. No, it's not. It's really good. It deserves all the hype it's getting. You should definitely watch it.
I always hate the term overrated because I hate people being like, too many people like this, and I'm like, why is
popular?
That a problem?
I hate it. Come on, man.
Like if you think something my whole thing, it's like if you think something that's popular is I think you should like go at it on its own merits and not just talk about, well, it's popular, so I don't like it. It's like, I'm sure you have a reason you don't like it.
Well, it's like for me, like, I mean, because I'm a writer and I'm always trying to come up with new ideas. If something is popular and like a lot of people like it, I'm automatically like, okay, this is resonating with a lot of people. I should probably watch or read this to kind of figure out why this is working for a lot of people. So I always go in kind of like inquisitively, and sometimes I do watch or play or read something and go, that's not my thing, but I'm always trying to like pick up on like, okay, so what hit for people? Why are they liking this so much? So I can maybe internalize some of that. Like I'll give you an example. Like Demon Slayer is huge. Demon Slayer is one of the biggest anime in so long. I'm not a big Demon Slayer guy. I don't like it that much. I think it's personally, it's one of those things I look at like, if I had never watched an anime before, if this was like my first anime or I was new to anime, this would like change my brain chemistry. But I think I'm old and I've watched so many other anime that I'm like, oh yeah, like this is I've seen a lot of this before. It's nothing really new under the sun. It has very flashy and really good animation, but beyond that, like the characters aren't really hitting for me. Like I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's overrated. I think I fully understand why it's popular, especially in Japan, and especially why the anime has given it kind of a nitro boost. But it's fine. You don't have to like everything, and it's okay if other people like stuff and it's popular and it's not your thing, and you can just do that, you know.
So I guess this is an interest. I guess I didn't think about this question right until right now. What comics are you reading right now?
Oh, I'm not reading much of anything because I'm too busy shilling for a Kickstarter. I'm always reading Sonic. The battle shonen I really like that I'm reading is Black Clover, which I'm not caught up on. What else am I? I told you earlier I'm reading. Oh God, yeah, I'm reading Sonic and the Blade of Courage. I'm reading a lot of Sonic right now. I'm trying to diversify that. I've been going back. I've been reading the Floyd Gottfredson Mickey Mouse comic strips, which are really good. I've been reading a lot of the Carl Barks Scrooge McDuck comics again, which are really good. Um, what else am I reading? I just ordered in the mail not too long ago. It's called Team Phoenix, and it's by Kenny Ruiz, and it's kind of like it's a manga, like it's by Udon, and it's not Japanese, but it's manga style, and it's really good. And it's basically think of Osamu Tezuka's like characters, but they're like on the Avengers together, and it's really cool. It's a really cool, nifty little book. So I got that recently. Um, yeah, just a bunch of nerdy stuff, a bunch of weeby stuff, Sonic as well.
Yeah. I think that will probably be the end of where we wrap up questions and stuff. Thank you so much for talking to me about it. I'm super excited for Endless Fantasia. Again, link to the Kickstarter below. Please support this. I really want to see this book.
Oh, thank you so much, Squid. Thanks for having me on as always. Always a pleasure. Always great questions. Always love talking to you. You got to bring me back on more often.
Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank Daniel Barnes again for joining me in this video, and I do want to implore you all to support the Kickstarter. I know a lot of people who watch my stuff fell in love with Scrapnik Island, so I know y'all will enjoy this one too. A special thank you to my patrons, and a special shout out to my $5 patrons, Ned Rex, Nate DM990, Diddly2, and Queer Kaiju. See y'all in the next video.